much. But it looks like the insta-pick for
And Weaver.
PentAce. They'll take the Weaver here. I've been seeing a lot of Weaver spam overall in this region as well. It's a fun hero for sure. Like, it capitalizes on needing to have sentries for literally anything and everything, and then it's a dust burner because Weaver still has a lot of move speed after getting hit with that reveal anyway.
Well, and it matches, or it kind of counters. It plays so well into Tusk Witch Doctor, where they don't have that kind of permanent lockdown. I mean, we did see, I think, in the first series of the day that one time that Dubu killed the Weaver just because he literally just didn't press time lapse because he didn't think he needed it. But aside from that, I think Weaver matches extremely well into the supports because what Snowball, unless you get the instant pop on it, you could just run away, kite the Tusk into like your entire team. In lane as well, you're not really too scared unless you get shard blocked off. They do the Dusa.
Well, they pick a very safe farming hero. You got the mana shield to work with very early. You could already see that PentAce's draft is very singular burst hero at the moment. So it's Medusa's a moderately safe pick to take here. I say that though, as 5ManMidas have second to last pick. So PentAce might be able to pick the counter that would be able to match both the last pick from 5Man as well as this Medusa.
Well, and it looks like 5Man believe that Z Freak, they need a 4 hero, they need a Z Freak hero.
Nyx
Uh,
is such a good band for that.
And I don't know if I am really buying this Medusa pick. I don't think it does much versus Weaver unless she's really able to get ahead of him. And versus Beastmaster, we saw in even just our previous series where the Necro units are still really annoying. The threat of Roar, the entire enemy team having that aura attack speed is always going to be really scary. As well as Enchantress, just being able to kind of be that secondary or even third damage dealer where the impetus it starts to add up, especially as maybe she gets a Dragon Lance and then she can outrange the Medusa. And I don't know. I'm not buying the Medusa pick. I'm trying to say,
I mean,
but it is safe.
it's very good overall kind of feel for that. I mean, Weaver does not, it doesn't like super outscale the Medusa, but you're right that it is a farm fight more or less, and Medusa doesn't really contest at the same speed a Weaver can. And I mean, I'm also looking at 5Man's draft, and they're still running because this is now an offlane Tusk, or no offlane Death Prophet, or core Death Prophet. I mean, whatever.
I'm assuming it's going to be a monster DP, but
It's gonna be
they
offlane
they could
Tusk.
run it
No,
mid if they really wanted to. I mean, they're banning more monster heroes just in case they do want to run the DP mid because I think that it's going to be a tiny mid, so maybe the DP is okay going mid versus the tiny. There's some mind games going on, but at the end of the day, it's really up to, or Penta Ace is in the position where they can choose to lane however they want to. After this next pick, I mean, the tiny could be 4 for all we know. But
I actually, I sorry to interrupt, but I really like this Enigma ban because that's kind of what 5Man were lacking. They don't have a Tide Hunter to pick from. The Mars ban out as well. Like, they just don't have a nice team fight hero that they could look at and be like, all right, this guy is how we start a fight. Enigma Black Hole, I mean, it's a safe one. You've got the Arena, and then you've got Tidehunter Ravage. There's not really many other heroes that are like that 5ManMidas can pick from, and they kind of need somebody like that. They could run Centaur, but I highly doubt that's the one. It's going to be Void.
okay, they picked it up. And I mean, we saw in that first series, it is incredibly good versus Weaver because the only solution Weaver has to it, Weavers don't buy Manta style. They got to go for the BKB, and that gives you a pretty wide opening to play versus him. But I don't know. I feel like 5ManMidas' lineup is kind of being pulled in two different directions where they kind of have this very mobile. They've got two turrets and then a Void Spirit, I feel like. And pushing into PentAce, I feel like PentAce is going to be able to tear them apart a little bit. And we don't even know what their final hero is. But considering whether or not to put the Z Freak on the Tiny or send Rioya there and pick a new mid laner is probably all they've got in the tank. Monkey's still in the pool if they wanted to run it back.
I feel like Monkey would be a safe-ish pick, I'd say, but not. I think they want to just go for something that has continual team fight. Bat Rider was not my first thought, but it actually is a much better thought than what I was going to say.
Fair enough.
It was going to be Jug, was my thought. But this is much better.
Yeah, and Ryoya is, I mean, he's a beast on the hero. Now he's laning versus Voids. I mean, P1 doesn't have a game now. He's going to be laning versus a Bat Rider. He needs to be really careful whenever he shows, and if he dies too many times, then the side lanes are going to be really affected. The only, I guess the gooder or the better news is that they don't have the same accelerating heroes as the previous game, where you can't really weave this Weaver alone at early levels, especially versus the Silence lane. You can't give him too much space, but they're so good at killing Rosh. They're so good at being chaotic. And I mean, we saw earlier today, Little Nick just carrying on Bat Rider. I definitely kind of get that vibe coming in from Ryoya, but guess we'll have to see.
Well, I mean, it is the last game of the day, though. So a lot of these teams might be like, all right, I just want to get this over with and let's get back to my stream so I can make all the stream monies. But I highly doubt that. This is still a very serious series overall, and I'm still a big fan of PentAce's draft as well. I don't think this Medusa is going to come online quick enough. The Medusa is not going to come online. The Void Spirit, I mean, it is good against Weaver. But it was like I was saying at the very beginning of the draft. You saw that PentAce has the last pick, and that last pick will, at the end of the day, kind of just give them that tactical advantage. And tactical advantage is there in the form of the one of the still strongest picks in all of Dota 2 right now.
And it gave them that kind of not even a lockdown that they were lacking. They have really good single target lockdown, but just lasso on top of everything else. Like they're going to be able to succeed, I think, in just about every single lane. And if it happens again, I mean, we saw what happens in the
Oops.
previous game. What happens when you win all three lanes? And I think 5ManMidas really need to double down and either give this Medusa a really great time and try to give the Beastmaster a really bad time, or try to do something along those lines. Oh, everybody's. I guess this is the meta now. Look for the ward.
I don't think they saw it. The best part about this kind of warding position is that, like, if you're right here, over by the left of the Dire mid tower, you actually don't get spotted, and you actually have a range of about to like this lower bit of the rock to place it. And then over here, you don't get scouted if you're in this little circle bit here to the right and plant it here as Dire. I feel like Dire has always had the aggressive warding advantage because the Radiant one, you have to be right here on these double trees to get this one here. And if somebody's standing here, they're just going to see it. The other one, I guess, that's all right is doing it from here than getting here. But, like, this is not the ward spot you go for.
Oh no, looks like they're gonna clash on this top bounty.
It
They
looks
want
like it's
Eichster.
a three-man gather up here as Eichster will be lifted up with these slow following through from Moo and the body blocks from Z-Free. They will be able to
Nothing
put
he
out the
can do.
damage. This Tuskar is hitting the floor as Moo will be the one to claim it.
Eichster did commit for the bounty and did claim it for his team, but still.
Like,
Oh, is he gonna try sniper courier now too?
yeah, it looks like actually the courier is lining up in the mid.
Oh.
Z-Freak, big beefy
Um,
rock man. He gets no. Die under the tower. Do it anyway. He will
Interesting.
go ahead and clip that courier.
He definitely had it. So, but
Oh no, Z-Freak's lining up. Actually, he might be able to find the second one on the backswing. If he goes down here, he's gonna see this courier. Yeah, he sees it now. He knows it's there. He wants it. He's gonna wait it out because the courier gives zero vision. Oh, he's gonna take the creeps. Never mind.
it looks like, yeah, trying to steal the creeps. Actually, the borer kind of, yeah, that borer actually messed up his creep hole completely. Kind
They're
of
not able to get
unfortunate.
that run up there, but I mean they're terribly not phased at the moment. Snaking. I mean it's all right for him. They got the courier clip though very early in the game. Like that's a lot of gold. The first blood being claimed as well, and you could see with PentAce up in the top lane already putting Eichster down to half HP, forcing a salve, and Monster himself having to continually regen. Like this is a very hard lane for both top and bottom, I'd say. Bot is definitely safer, I'd say.
Yes, Medusa is definitely going to be able to get a lot more farm, at least hopefully. And even when the boards are up, I mean, we saw in that in the cut series where Medusa's just gonna
Top.
keep farming.
Again.
Oh, Eichster.
I keep on, like, I zip up here, and I'm like, Eichster's taking a bit of damage. I wonder what's going on here. And it's just, he's getting slowly clicked up. And it was like you were saying during draft, the strength of just impetus and the eventuality of it becoming a level 3 spell being huge as well back in the mid. Ryoya putting a lot of pressure onto P1 there. 6 stacks of the sticky.
Yeah, and just able to get his bottle out that little bit faster. Looks like P1 has stabilized this lane a lot more, actually pulling ahead in CS a little bit, but that's not really this hero's strength. Batrider is less of a creep dominator and more of a I'm going to kill you, I'm going to run you down, I'm going to try to give you as bad a time as possible kind of mid laner.
And this might be comboing down too, as you see Z-Freak is lining up. There is no aggressive ward to scout this, so he could just walk straight in if he wants to, but looks like he'll hold off for the time being. They circle where a potential ward spot is as well. Nothing there at the moment. I'll have to rotate back. No real great kill potential at the moment for that mid lane. I mean, it was like you were saying. The Batrider's kind of already doing it on his own. His sole job is to run at the hero and force them to have a harder time.
When at the same time in the top lane, they really don't have... well, they did have kill potential when Fury was slightly lower level, but now I think it's quite hard for them to really kill him unless Silence or a Cask is thrown at the top lane. So Fury is going to farm up quite easily.
Ice is trying to get hit with a Maledict down here. He actually gets the unlucky double bounce. He'll be fine though, but that will break off the creep hole once again. But it's 20 seconds left until the bounty rune, so Z-Freak will just be chilling in the mid for the eventuality of the rune contest.
Well, I'm surprised Eichster hasn't rotated down already, because these runes are really quite important, because there's no bottle charges on either mid laner, but... Oh, Arcane Rune for P1.
Yep, looks like it's going to be top.
But does he die for it?
Picked up for P1. Yeah, he might be going down here. No stun, no lasso, no nothing. I mean, that is the right play, and he TPs to the mid, too, so he'll still be kicking around. That's a good call from them, getting that TP out of there. He knew that there was not really going to be a good play.
And they're just going to continue to farm up like this. Once Ryoya has that lasso, he does get to be that little bit more independent. He's got quite a messy inventory at the time. Lots of regen.
Yeah, I see that. Boots. Tango, branch, other branch, Tango.
But the only one really suffering, I think, so far, and he's not suffering too badly because he is getting levels, is just this Beastmaster in the bot lane. It is pretty rough to lane versus Medusa, especially with Borko really being the one to contest you. Looks like Borko's going to fight him on the...
Ooh, yeah, top lane. Actually, I was going to say that it was the bounty rune fight, but we see top lane where they toss in this Centaur with the Ava combo.
Got him.
And they get this kill. The snowball. I don't know about that one, Eichster. That snowball was a bit aggressive there, and I mean, Z-Freak's got no mana. Moo with no mana giving ability. Looks like they're just going to run this Centaur at him.
If the Centaur was able to path around and cut him off, it would have been a lot closer, but still getting the kill onto Monster, I mean, it's super annoying. I'd be quite mad if I had a Centaur thrown at me and stunned for 2 seconds.
Yeah, like why even have a Centaur hero when you could just get a Centaur out of the creep
Exactly.
That was always my suggestion to people, because Hoof Stomp just seems like such a bad spell. Oh, there's a net. Wasn't going to say Void Spirit's getting netted, but there's nothing coming from that net there. Another courier, though, getting clipped. Z-Freak taking P1's courier this time. I didn't see if there was any items in it, though. It might have been looks like it was a run back.
Yeah. You know, they're doing so much damage. I mean, this is the same rotation you'd make before, but...
He's going to be in trouble here, actually. Takes quite a bit of damage. Is going to be brought in by the Remnant, but the
Ava
is there, and Ryoya, he's just burning away these heroes. The net's there. P1. They will find this kill on Moo, but Eichster will be the confirmed trade. Ryoya is level 6. He needs a little bit more mana, but
I think he
doesn't care. He's going to get the jump on him. I say that, though. P1 is going to be able to disengage. The Remnant's going to be there. The burn damage out from Maledict. Going to at least hold him back. He can't dive the tower quite yet. 7 stacks on the Void Spirit for the sticky napalm. So
Borko is playing so solidly. He's really been able to mess up, I think, a lot of things PentAce has been trying to get going for them. Really clean rotation for him to just come mid, cast, heal up his boy. But
I mean,
Fear
that
is
is the
kind of
power of the
running
Witch
away.
Doctor. It's a very good hero overall. Has the strongest support capability I've seen for an early game.
Big dive.
Yep, top lane. They're going straight for Monster here. That's a very good kill for them to get. Eichster really unable to help them out here. In fact, might be in trouble himself. As the sentry gets thrown
Oh,
down,
boy.
the Observer Ward to counteract it. Eichster will go ahead and snowball. Looks like they know which creep it's going to be on as they bring it up. Downside is the Eichster's not able to get that bug off of them, so he's just taking a lot of bug damage here. And
that's
like
P1.
one dead hero, but they do bring P1 in. He actually tosses him to the cannon, which will result in Moo's death. Eventually. No?
Oh, no.
Oh, Moo actually gets out of this. So they make 0 trades for this rotation, and P1 is not happy about that. Threw a sentry up to the hill. And P1, actually, I think he's forced to go back to base. He can't really walk back to mid. He's got nothing in the bottle.
And I'm getting kind of flashbacks from the previous game. Even though he is level 7, because there have been a lot of supports in Rioya's lane, it's starting to feel pretty bad when these rotations don't work out. And going to be able to give Rioya an Arcane Rune, I don't know. It feels really bad to be giving away some of these small things. Well, Eichster's trying to be annoying, but...
Yeah, he was trying to contest this rune here, but it looks like it's not going to happen.
Oh, no.
Yeah, he's just straight dead here. There's a Centaur Stomp that follows through, lifted up as well, and Cocktail will bring him technically back down, but the TP
might be
in
dead.
from Borko. They will find a return.
Oh, he's
to
looking to lasso Borko.
Yeah, he wants to get this. Actually, don't even think he's going to lasso him. I think the lasso would have ended up confirming this kill indefinitely, and there it goes. He's got the Arcane Rune too, so that lasso is going to be up pretty soon here. Rioya playing a little bit too aggressive, though. He actually will fall for this.
Not a bad trade, all things considered. And again, I mean, just steal Borko, leaving his bot lane, letting his Medusa still playing versus, or still play versus Snake King, but Medusa did have to vacate. Once the Necro book is up, you just can't deal with the mana burn. It's just a little bit too strong.
Yeah, even at level 1, it is a very strong spell there. Why did they forted for mid? Okay. Ah, yes, because we're seeing the first push with the Exorcism.
Well, and this is why we usually see the Enchantress banned first phase. Is just this hero's so obnoxious. She just brings these large creeps into mid, nets you, she mud golems you, she Centaur stuns you, and you always need to be careful because especially around the cart timings, they just are gonna kill your buildings. And I mean, now they're smoked up on the hill.
Yep, you see that
They
PentAce.
see P1.
They're sitting up here. Moo trying to get the jump on P1, but
you can't do
the
this.
Ava in the mid. They are going to end up killing off Borko here as Fear dives the tower. Snowball will save, but it actually is on the Weaver. Does actually latch, but they do get the kill on Borko, and they rotate the rest of the team in.
And this is 5 heroes.
They've got 5 heroes in the mid. The Necronomicon tearing through this tower already. Looks like they want to go for the top tower. Eichster might be in a bit of trouble here as Fear is coming in. But the Ice Shards will hold him off. Only him, though, as Cocktail gets thrown out. Rioya will be grabbing this Tuskar, bringing up to the high ground. He snowballs to this Ancient stack over here, and he's just dead.
Moo able to confirm. But this is the problem. You pick this Void Spirit again, and you have kind of already run out of lanes to gank. Again, we talked about it a little bit in the previous game. Who are you trying to kill in this game? Because now the Enchantress, almost level 6, she's going to be a little bit too tanky for you to kill. You need outside damage. I think you're really going to be relying on Monster and Steel Borko to supply the damage to kill these heroes, but at the same time, this Weaver's free farming. He's got a Falcon Blade. You've got Necro 2 already completed on Snake King, and Rioya is just going to farm up either a Blink Dagger or a BKB, and then I think you're really going to start seeing the map start to go black for 5ManMidas.
Well, they do still have time to make a comeback. It's not very one-sided like last game. We're seeing it's only a 3K net worth difference, but still 10-4. A lot of kills existing in this game. That's a very good item for the Bat Rider, the brooch, but it is still very much comeback. You can see the Medusa's the top of the net worth, but we talked about this with our Alchemist series today, is that if one hero has all the gold, then only that one hero is capable of doing things. And he's not really doing anything.
They're trying to make these aggressive plays, but it's just not their time yet. their time to make aggressive early game plays is really past gone, and they're gonna trade a T1 for T2 at this rate.
Yeah, and it's obviously a non-ideal trade, but it's the only trade they could really get. I mean, the Beastmaster is not down here, but will be very soon. The Necronomicon creeps about 13 seconds left in their lifespan, but can be summoned back up in 30. And they can't do anything about this this Fear Weaver either. It was like you're saying, he is having the second most free farmish game.
Oh, and they were
Monster.
keeping down here, but somebody canceled. Now Monster's just, oh no.
He's down here solo. They do start the second TP, but it's not going to be here in time. Monster will be going down.
He needs to get the sucks off.
Bring them in. Actually, Snaking in a bit of trouble here, unable to find a roar target. Looks like they actually will live at the end of the day. Z-Freak trying to chase down Monster, and Borko popping off in the back lines will end up getting this kill on Moo.
And even more, they got him. And that is the power of Death Prophet right there. You try to dive her, she gets 3 siphons off, you spend everything, and there's nothing you can do about it. Monster actually just tanked through everything. And kind of, it was a little bit of a greedy play as well, because Beastmaster had the roar. They needed the damage to kill him, but instead, they trying to save it for the initial, like, after fight. And really, it wasn't even there. That was just the 3-man fighting. I think Rilla tried showing up a little bit later, but they just need to keep on doing that. Every single time they can defend their towers and get kills or return kills, that's going to be the recipe of success for 5ManMidas. But they're smoked up.
Really just a 3-man here. They're not big burst teams, Smoke, but they're actually drawing.
They need to toss Snaking.
As Ryoya actually TP's in under vision.
Oh no.
He finds Ixer, but this isn't the kill they wanted. They actually find Borko as well, so I think Borko is going down here just to creeps alone. Fear will confirm it, while the lasso out on Ixter on the sidelines will find his life as well.
They got both of them.
I mean, that is the most that's the most preferred thing you could have got right there. Courier. Well,
has been killed. Yeah, and I'm not exactly sure what happened, because it felt like the game plan was they were going to toss Snaking onto the Medusa and then roar him, but instead it got a little bit messy whenever the shards came through, and then they just kind of had to decide. But I know Fear has been completely uncontested. He's quite big right now. And at the same time, they were doing that as 3, and then heroes showed up to make it better. So they just go immediately back to farming, and it's this playing in 3 lanes thing that's going to become a problem.
Tiny.
We'll get Z-Freak, though.
Yeah, they find Z-Freak, pick him off. Well, I mean, then it's just going to be a game of the trades.
Yeah.
I mean, they need towers, too, is the other thing. Like, you're looking at the tower domination map right now, and it's just... It's low, but now you just see Monster who's going to go an Exorcism. They want to get this mid tower. This will give them a lot of map domination, but PentAce applying some light defense. You don't really want to lose it. Well, nothing you can do about it.
Yeah, it looks like they did have TPs on all their heroes, and Snaking wanted to fight here.
Yeah, Snaking playing a little bit too aggressive on that attempted break of the tower there, so that he actually falls for this trade as well. That's very preferable. 5ManMidas style. It's good for them to get those kills very early.
I'm surprised his entire team had TPs and they didn't decide to go for the defense, but he was still in the woods, so I'm surprised he actually got caught there. But Fear is playing on Borko.
Yeah, Fear wants to go straight for Borko here, but there is a sentry that is seeing all of this action. They just saw it get placed down in that area there.
And that's really the only time he needs to be afraid until this Void Spirit finishes his Yule Scepter and gets the Ags, is he can't get too close to the Tusk, because that's when he can get insta-snowballed, punched, maledicted, all that stuff. And then there is a realistic chance that he will die in those scenarios, but I mean, they're just going to keep farming. They're going to keep farming until they get some of these bigger items. I mean, Snake's got a Blink Dagger queued up, Octarine Core for the Batrider.
Weaver's actually going... Fear's building Manta. So I know you said earlier that Weavers don't really go Manta, but he is going only item Manta at the moment with the Falcon Blade, of course.
And I mean, it's not the worst thing, but I mean, skipping the Maelstrom is already quite uncommon. But I guess Fear is just valuing different items this game. But it looks like they're set up for whoever would want to defend the bot tower, and I'm not sure if they're gonna bite this time around. They do glyph it up.
Yeah, they might want to glyph trade, basically. They look for the top tower and poise
Oh, they're
towards
looking
that.
for fear.
Yeah,
Oh,
PentAce.
no.
I mean, fear is just gone. Well, I say that,
Yeah.
though, Borko. The scene for a clip of the second there, but unable to put any pressure down, knowing that fear is here. They'll be able to get this tier 2 tower in the bot, spending drums for it as well. The power of the Beastmaster, as many say, is quite strong.
Really just farms both waves. I mean, they can also take Rosh pretty much whenever. We're in another game where the team with Medusa can never really take Rosh unless they get a bunch of kills. They do have the Medallion and Exo, but you have to be so careful of taking a fight at that point. You don't have like the Phoenix Undying that we were seeing earlier in the day, where you just can't. You have to give them the Rosh because if you try to fight that, you just die. Looks like they're very content with farming it. I mean, the gold lead is kind of forming itself. But they're trying to kill fear again, it looks like.
I mean, they want to. They really do.
Manta
is going to whiff. It goes over here, and not exactly where it needs to go. So Fear will be able to get out of that one. He's got the Manta now live and ready, like you were talking about. He's actually going to go Diffusal next. Despite most of the time people end up going for this Mana Break talent, he might then, if he's going for Diffusal, he might actually just go for the Strength talent. But I think these stack, right? So
they do stack.
Do both.
They do stack. And I guess this is just his idea, is he just wants to burn the Medusa's mana. But typically when I see this matchup, the other option is just to do so much more damage than the Medusa that it doesn't really matter, because Weaver's just one of those heroes. I mean, Geminate attack, it's a DD rune basically for one attack. You hit him twice and throw proc items into the mix, and then it really starts to become a problem where Medusa can't really man fight you. But Wise needs to be so careful if he actually shows top like this.
He is very much showing top like this. In fact,
no.
the Roar goes out from staking, and Wise loses all of his mana pool, and they tried to kill him off before he ends up stone forming anybody. He does throw out the wand. Borko is here. He does have the cask available.
Fear.
He actually finds this kill on Fear in the back lines. They might be able to find more as the Yules goes out onto Snaking. Very low HP, but they have to disengage. Or they don't have to. They are disengaging.
And that is the issue with this, not even the Weaver pick, but just the matchup versus Tusk. If you have to go over the Tusk, if you have to physically be near him, there's always the chance you just get punched, take a 600 damage nuke, 500 damage nuke, and you just can't always survive that, especially at this kind of early stage of the mid game.
Ice shards go out. They find nobody here. But yeah, those are not exactly trades.
Decisive having a blink dagger as well. It feels like they're just waiting. Are they actually going to go into Rosh?
I mean, they've got the Exorcism available. They still have the bonus damage from Ice.
It's gonna die fast.
This Rosh is just dead. Comes an ice creep though. The remnant.
Yeah, I don't
catch,
think they realized how low it was.
Yeah, they know
all
it's
the arrows are turning in.
And you see that Z-Freak is on the sidelines here, but he's not going to go in there. Rosh is dead, and Lies is actually the one to take it. This game actually is starting to catch up a little bit here.
And that's something you definitely didn't want to give up. I mean, I think Snaking's decision after he got so low to just kind of sit top, farm, get the waves in, I don't think he had a Hawk necessarily in the pit. One just flew over there maybe 10 seconds ago, but no contention. I mean, Fear was still dead, but he could have TP'd to the top outpost. And now, I mean, Wise is going to feel pretty safe for the next 5 minutes or so while this Aegis kind of ticks away, because I don't think PentAce are going to want to force anything, at least not anything big, while this Aegis is in the hands of the Medusa.
I mean, maybe once the Weaver ends up getting the diffusal blade, that might be the big ticket item there. You see the Bat Rider's already got the Octarine core out. So that's not really like one of the ones that's like the key defining. Maybe the Blink Dagger for Beastmaster, which is up and now if he buys it, but he's holding.
Well, and now the items are finally coming in for 5ManMidas. I'm guessing we're looking for a Solar Crest for Monster, Ags for the Void, and he got Z-Freak mid.
Speaking of which, yeah, he does manage to find this poor Tiny in the mid. So Z-Freak going down as well. Ike's the one to claim the click.
I never pull my punch.
And I mean, this team has no intention of fighting unless they have Exorcism, and they're kind of getting away with it right now. It's still a 5k gold lead for PentAce. They are still farming up on the map, getting kind of whatever they want to, but Really has kind of gone quiet, I think, as far as this Batrider pick has come. I don't think he's really been able to make too many plays because they're really just sticking as 4 or 5. They're really staying as a unit to make sure that this Medusa is getting as much out of the map as
Radiant's top
possible, and
tower is
it's
under
kind of
attack.
working for him.
Dire's middle tower
Ooh,
is
haste
under
rune,
attack.
though.
Oh,
That could be a good deciding rune here, but you do see that even with this pressure that's not available from PentAce at the moment, you see the pressure is being applied in the form of both bot lane and top lane
Radiant's
being
top
pushed
tower
in.
is under attack.
They will end up trading this
Dire's
tower, I
middle
believe,
tower
because
is under
Snaking
attack.
is
Dire's
not
middle
afraid to
tower
run
has fallen.
his creeps into this tower here. Necronomicon's still live. This is a tier 3 Necronomicon, so...
oh, they're trying to cut him off.
Oh,
They're trying to
TP
get the
rotate in.
stragglers.
Yeah, he's just snaking. He's like, nope, 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 I'm gone. They find Ixer. He was trying to pump the roar. The
I think they
snowball
got
actually
both
goes
of
out
them.
to the creeps here, and the Ice Shard's good blockage. They will be able to find Ixer one way or another. Meanwhile, they do look for Borko off on the sidelines here. Sphere picks him off slowly.
Oh,
Lies
no.
will go ahead and drop the Stone Gaze, and no one's going to get Stone Form today, but with both supports down, and now
using
Exorcism
Exo.
expended. They
Yeah,
have to
that
leave.
was really unfortunate. Yeah, they just can't do anything now, and this is the troublesome thing about having these long cooldowns is now you felt like you were forced to use it. Oh
The
no!
roar out immediately with the lasso, like we were talking about. There it is. P1 goes down. This tower will go down uncontested. Trying to catch out Weaver there. The silence not going to hold him over.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
And Fear switching it up, going for the MKB now as well after seeing the Medusa having that butterfly. I mean, the timings are feeling a little bit too late now, as he was 500 gold away from that Ags before that death, and this Exo usage was just really unfortunate. They were they were basically running away as soon as the Exo was popped, and there's just no hero to hold them down. And PentAce are just going to take this space and just widen that gold gap even more.
This game is,
Radiant's
it's
top
not out
tower
of control
is under
though.
attack.
It is. I mean, what's the next item? I was expecting this to be like I'm going to click on Medusa. If it's Divine Rapier, I don't think it's going to happen. But it's not Divine Rapier. It's going to be a Scotty into the Swift Blink. We didn't actually get to see the Swift Blink last game, though. I feel like the game's not going to extend to this point where we're going to see it in this game either, however.
It is quite an expensive item. It is quite expensive.
Yeah, because Weaver very close to this Monkey King bar. It's only about 1,200 gold off. The BKB
with the
almost
bottle
up for the Bat
DD.
Rider.
Oh,
Fear. Needs to be careful here. They are pinging him out. He's just gone. There's a bird that comes in as well.
He's got the Quicksilver as well. He's just so fast. This hero is so incredibly strong.
Quick boy.
And they're getting away with it again. I mean, Realize playing top, Snaking's playing mid, Fear's playing bottom. These heroes aren't as reliant as each other as they are on 5ManMidas, where they need the protection from each other. Where PentAce, they're just farming all of the waves, they farm in, and now they're just farming the enemy team's triangle. And Aegis gone, they need to be a little bit cautious about taking any fights.
Oh, Ryoya
They're
about
looking-
to start
Oh,
a
it's
fight of his
free.
own. As he brings in the Tusk with the lasso. They will snowball to buy time. Actually, it goes to the Ancient Camp, but Cocktail is going to push him out of that.
That's what I'm talking about.
And while there is only a T2 left to get mid, I mean, we're quickly we're barreling towards the inevitability of, I think, of Medusa standing on her high ground, because it's really hard for them to walk out and get out onto the map. Really, the only initiation they have is P1, and P1 needs to be so careful. If he ever lets himself get lassoed or roared, we saw him die top. It's just he's not that strong of a hero yet, even though he's got this Ag Scepter now. And now MKB on Fear.
Radiant's middle tower
Yeah,
is
this
under
is the key important team fight time. P1 now with the silence available, like you were talking about, but Weaver with a bottled DD rune as well as the Monkey King bar live.
Oh, they see him.
They are gonna jump in. They reveal the silence. Snaking was gonna be the initial
no.
target, and unfortunately, since Monster preemptively popped
They're
the
just gonna leave.
exorcism, they have to take something with it.
And that's the problem. You'll see they're trying to get the people in between. They don't want to get the death prophet necessarily, but there's no reason for them to fight right now. As soon as the Exo gets popped, and I'm guessing he thought he could catch, I think it was Fear, or no, it was Snake King, but he just walked away. He walked it off.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Fear with
Now
this
Exo
DD
gone
rune is
with the
pumped.
DD.
Yeah, I want to be careful there, but that's a pick and a half. Z-Freak might be this pick, though. He is going to get scouted by P1 very soon here. Yeah, does get seen. The silence is shown. Does not get hit by the Remnant,
This is
however,
the
and
Remnant.
can do the Ava escape if he wants, but we'll
And
toss
he's
him
out.
just into the creep wave. Back into our triangle, though.
Oh no, Lies.
Lies is going to be in trouble here. The Roar is there and has been expended. The silence is going to do nothing as the BKB is there from Ryoya. They need to break this mana pool, and it's just not enough. They barely broke it in time, but Lies just losing all of his HP to the slow, insidious burn. I don't think he realized he was standing in the fire.
Oh,
but
Fear?
the silence out onto Weaver is actually
Oh
going
my-
to get caught there. They will kill off Fear as Borko is the one to claim the kill on Weaver, but it looked like Eichster is going to be next on this to-do list. They do have
P1.
to jump in from P1 here. Actually, the silence out on Ryoya causing a bit of an issue, but Eichster still playing very low HP. Monster just slowly spirit siphoning away everyone's HP. They will end up getting the Yules out on the Void Spirit. It was a defensive, though. They'll jump up to the high ground. Offensive Yules now being used on Beastmaster and the Ice Shards to hold him off. They
And that
still
was so
find good trades, but
unfortunate.
it's like you don't want to lose Weaver in that fight. He was not expecting to get silenced there.
Well, and he popped the Mantis out. He didn't have the silence after. He actually got hit by the Aether Remnant. He manted almost too soon and took the Remnant in the middle. He got Aether Remnant in between both of his Manta illusions. Stuff you just can't account for. But still, I mean, you lost the Medusa. Every single Medusa death is going to feel just as crushing. And I mean, Batrider, it's so hard to deal with him. Medusa's really your tool to deal with him because every other hero has problems keeping him away from you, keeping him from running away. And with the Octarine Core, he just always has Firefly up. And again, they're just so independent. All of the cores on PentAce are able to kind of do their own thing and be confident, where we see this kind of massive group of 5ManMidas heroes trying to get onto the map and get things done, but it's just way harder for them to play with the heroes they have.
I mean, what are we looking for this, like, to buy the time then? The Scotty's not done on the Medusa. They find the Orb of Destruction, though, which is a very close
The
second.
Paladin
but
Sword is a
Tower is under
really
attack.
important pickup.
The Paladin Sword is definitely the big taker here. I mean, you see these going for the Scotty, and he's going to go into the Daedalus, but they have yet to really see the Weaver kind of tear into this
Radiant's
Medusa
bottom
quite
tower is
yet.
under
And you see
attack.
that Fear is actually going to go for the Scotty next himself. And once these items are up, like, if it's Scotty versus Scotty, the Weaver's going to win.
And I mean, we see the smoke up because we do see Rosh on respawn, but Fear.
Into Ace. Yeah, they've got that 5-man, 4-man smoke, actually. Z-Freak hanging out in the top here. Looks like they might just be trying to get some light information with this.
I think that was a
Oh,
smoke
P1.
delivered. Eichster has it. Oh, is he
That
popping?
could be the hot information that they need.
Oh, he
but
blinked.
Since Ryoya grabbed the rune, they know.
It's actually an arcane rune.
Everyone's just poising around this Roshan. Like, they want to get this fight out and going, but Lies now with the Scotty. They are going to slow it down.
And
move for
moves the
time
target,
being.
I
The reveal
guess.
is going to be there, and they find the kill on P1. Or
They need to
they
be
find
so
the kill on
careful.
Move.
They're all on the low ground right now.
Weaver comes in. The bugs are live. They find the lasso with the BKB. They're going to bring him down, but not down enough. They end up popping the Exorcism, though, to try to slow this down. They're going to bring in the
here's
Remnant
caught.
with the double silence that he does have the break, but it's not going to be enough. He gets brought up immediately by the Tuskar, and now they see Z-Freak on the sidelines, too. They want him.
Oh,
the Roar goes out on
Lies.
Medusa, and the Roshan gives him a clap, and they will end up getting the trade. Buyback comes out from Fear, though. He wants to get back into this fight. He TPs into the tower, or into the outpost, and they will find one. They find the kill on Z-Freak. Meanwhile, on the sidelines, Monster trying to slowly burn away the HP of Ryoya, but instead is going to try to escape from this. P1, though, is going to be in a bad scenario here. Fear zips around the Remnant. They do still find the kill on Borko, while P1 starts the TP. The cocktail gets thrown, and they will get the kill at the last second of the TP.
And that's a buyback you really feel good about using because you got so many kills, so much XP, and now you're going to have an Aegis on top of it. Aegis cheese on top of it.
Aegis cheese. I mean, Fear is having a heyday. Sure, you're much further away from that Eye Scotty, but it was like you were talking about. Those kills got good numbers in exchange. And Ryoya did not die at the end of the day, too, and he's now tied with the net worth of this Medusa.
And again, it was kind of unfortunate with Fear because he got the Manta off, he got the time-lapse off, and the second silence clipped him, but he actually got Skikuchi off, and he right-clicked himself out of it. He exited Skikuchi and just got taken out. But this is still just such a dominant position. They're not able to mess with this Bat Rider. He's just, even with the jump that didn't feel great, he just brought lies so deep into his team that the Bat Rider, or the Beastmaster, was able to finish him off at the end of everything, just knocking him around in the pit.
Yeah, I didn't even pay
it's gotta be
attention
the
to all the
rapier.
mana that just got removed from Medusa there. I'm honestly surprised that the Rosh just didn't kill him.
And I feel like it's got to be the Rapier on Lies. You need like a Rapier and a Satanic, and hopefully you can get the split shot used as modifiers, but it's just becoming a really big issue. And even with Fear's build, I think if Fear did have a slightly different item build, the Maelstrom, Sanj, and Yasha, he would be dying less, but he is kind of the Medusa's Fear. Medusa has to be so cautious being out of the base, because if she gets a bug on her, it's really, really annoying, and they're going to smoke up.
I mean, the BKB is going to be the next big thing for Fear. Like, you saw in that last team fight just how much control there was that was going out onto him. Even a 5-second BKB would make the biggest difference.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
But you're right,
He's
they
just
are
hitting the
smoked up.
tower.
PentAce, they want to bait with Fear. They actually whiff the silence. But it looks like they actually see P1 up in the top lane here. And they're
saw him
poising
walk
for
out.
him. The lasso's available.
He's
He
got
just saw them dissimulate.
TPing.
He's out of there. Oh, hey, Fear. Did get silenced. The Yules is there from Monster, actually. This could be bad. They throw down the
him.
sentry. He's brought up into the sky here. He will go ahead and reset, but with the help of Borko, they will get this kill. The team does rotate in, and they smoke out. But the smoke back in is the question. Borko does get spotted, but they will throw out the immediate stone for him, and they're looking for this kill in Ryoya. He needs to escape from this, and that's the plan of this team fight.
He
Does
has
get crit
cheese, though.
twice. And he's just so
lassos
slow
the
from this
Medusa on the
Scotty, but the
cliff.
roar is there, and they will end up expending at least one here, but the roar does a lot of damage. The Ava combo, they will end up getting P1. He has to buy back immediately, TP's out into the outpost if they want to get this. They get the kill, and Ice
Monster.
Their Lies hits the floor as well. Monster just burning away from the insidious damage from everything else around him. They will toss up Fear and Z-Freak, but the BKB of his own will be able to escape. They got a huge buyback kill out of this one. P1 is the only one really alive from this one. Borko, he does have his ult available. I didn't realize he didn't use ult. That was actually just the sound of Voodoo Switcheroo. But
I'm so surprised they decided to chase that. After the Medusa ulted, they really should have just started backing away, but they really thought that they could take that fight with no BKB on the Bat Rider, but they just ran out of gas. They just kept on trying to get the kill onto Bat Rider and didn't really care what happened to him.
I mean, it's just going back to the original statement that, like, even Dota isn't about winning with one hero, it's about winning with a team, and if you want to throw one body into the fire, then that's the necessary kindling to get it going. They're perfectly fine with tossing that Bat Rider out, and as the result of this, it's just they're getting so much. I actually just realized there's a quickening charm on Ryoya as well, so all of his spells are up consistently.
I mean, they're not done. They're just going to keep hitting. They know that there's no exorcism. They're just going to keep on doing what they got to do. I mean, they just saw Void Spirit, so they might start to respect it now, but Fear has BKB. He can finally survive in a lot of these fights. And I mean, 2 racks. You've got 1 set of racks left. Pretty much all your tier 3 towers are gone. Ryoya just got his Blink delivered as well now, so he's going to be able to find these backline targets, and you can't help but feel like this team fight is just too strong coming out from PentAce.
I mean, the BKB now is up on Fear, and yeah, the lassos are absolutely insane. I feel like we're going to see... I want to see the Aghanim Scepter soon, because a dual lasso is actually really good in this game.
I'm sad we didn't get to see Nick build it, to be honest.
I mean,
No,
that is something that Nick would build. Let's be honest here. We've all seen his streams. Lies in a bit of trouble here. For the time being, though, Borko's going to start the TP out. That's a long TP, though. Clipped by...
same time,
he
they got
Voodoo
P1.
Switcheroos, though, and they do end up finding P1. No silence or cold is available for him, though. He'll be able to jump and leap out of that one. They will get the kill on
dieback
Porco.
on
That's
Witch
his,
Doctor.
yeah, that's his dieback. Voodoo Switcheroo and unable to save him there. Switching to our buyback timers. We only actually have 2 buybacks available here, and even with this support pickoff, I imagine PentAce are
under attack.
lining up maybe to go up to the high ground. Well, it looks like they're going to reset. The Rosh possibly will respawn in 2.5 minutes. We just saw the team fight with it, though. Oh, Spell Prism. Well, Bat Rider stuff is coming up. Cooldown even quicker now. 18% in comparison to 12%.
And I'm trying to figure out where the light at the end of the tunnel is, because Fear has his Scotty queued up, only 1,200 away, and you see the positioning of the Medusa. She can't run away from her buildings. She has to stay there. She's the defense. She's the turret.
It's divine time.
Yeah, I don't know if the supporting cast is going to be able to prop her up enough,
Monster.
because we don't have that coddle. Oh no, Monster.
Semi-caught out here. He uses himself. But the reverse jump in from P1 and the Yules from his own. He will actually find the taunt, but the Glimmer Cape will save him for the time. No real re-engagement there. But 29k net worth lead. Like, the gold is pouring. A lot of PentAce's
Rosh
cores
may
are
be
far.
respawning in, what, minute 20 seconds. We might be seeing that soon, but
Oh, no.
once
the
they see this
leveler.
DD, they might even prod a little bit more into the base.
It's
I mean, they're
time.
just farming everywhere. They're just farming the entire map.
Fear's got the leveler. That's it, boys. 60 attack speed, bonus building damage. I mean, Fear is already hitting like a truck, and he's about to get the Scotty.
And you see 2 couriers trying to get items.
I mean,
Oh, boy.
one part might be... It's not a divine piece. Let's see, what are we looking at here? Oh, it might be a divine piece. Is it time divine? No, it's just one part.
Yeah, he's not even able to finish it in time. And Ninja Gear on Snakekin as well, he's always going to be able to find these kind of backline roars. And with the Ag Scepter, he's just going to be so annoying in the backline. They're just going to prop up Fear to hit the tower basically whenever they want to. And they've got to force a reaction out.
Oh, here's a
no.
counter reaction. Here's the lasso. Goes out immediately. The BKB is not available for Lies. He doesn't
didn't
even
get it
have
off.
Lies. Snowball. It's going out to the Enchantress, though, and that's not a great target to roll out to. And Lies is just dead. There's no buyback. He bought the piece
That's it.
from the secret shop. Voodoo Switcheroo is not going to save Borko today. He goes down. Eichster falls as well. And Monster, they're just going to throw the GG. They're done. 5ManMidas unable to hold this game over. They tried their hardest, though. This one was definitely a more convincing game than game number 1.
Well, and something we saw in the Undying series versus Ego is just that they were so good at baiting the enemy team into taking these kind of bad fights versus them, and versus a Death Prophet, even more so, PentAce were just able to force Monster to pop his Exo, pop his ultimate, and just immediately back out, never be in a compromising position. And even not with the most mobile heroes, they were just able to run away, reset, and get more of the map. And every single time they gave an inch, I mean, PentAce just took a mile.
I mean, I feel like a mile might be an understatement. They probably took maybe 10 miles, I'd say. Okay, I was hoping I would get the stats. There it is. There it is. Is this it? No, this isn't it. I didn't get the stats because the coordinator did a poop.
Same here.
Okay, cool. I just wanted to make sure it wasn't just me. But yeah, that game felt it was hard for them to really make the comeback. I felt like at multiple times they had it because Medusa just kind of farms that way. But I mean, as soon as Fear just started getting out of hand and there was enough damage really for them to just do whatever they wanted, they did exactly that and did whatever
I
they want.
think Fear did it the hard way too. I mean, this item build is cool. I like Falcon Blade a lot, but the Maelstrom, Sanjin Yasha, it's a hard build to beat. You know, it's already kind of proven itself in a lot of other spheres, but tried something different, still won anyway. That's Dota for you.
That is Dota indeed. But with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, that is actually the last series for today. But don't you worry, ladies and gentlemen, there's actually a bunch of other days of this Dota 2 tournament. And by a bunch of other days, we are continually pumping out that North American Dota for you. So, but that is we're done for today. Overall, anything you would like to say on the way out, ET? Other than I should get better at my outros, because I know I need to get better at my outros.
Infinity Dog Champ, Arkosh Cut, Unknown Ego, Four Zoomers back at it again versus the what's this team? The Latam Defenders. Tomorrow's a big day, so tune in tomorrow, guys.
Yeah, if you're like me, I'm ready for that Arkosh game. I can't wait
Oh,
to
boy.
make fun of Slacks on his Twitter. With that
Oh,
being said,
God.
ladies and gentlemen, we'll see you tomorrow for some more North American Dota 2 action on the BTS Pro Series number 5. This is PartyPetee and ET signing off.